Look at this illustration of a standard blocky upper body silhouette. When you check your progress in the mirror from the front, you might see strong shoulders and solid arms, but you also see this glaring empty space, exactly where your back should flare outward. You follow the rules. You load up the bar for heavy rows, grind through lat pull-downs, do strict pull-ups and heavy deadlifts, and the numbers prove you are doing it right. You can physically pull more weight than you could 6 months ago. The frustration sets in because that additional strength is doing absolutely nothing to change the rectangular shape of your torso. Most lifters assume they hit a genetic wall at this point. They blame their wide waist, or they decide they simply need to double their pull-up volume. None of those explanations hold up. Conventional heavy lifting programs leave a massive gap in upper back development. They bypass a specific localized zone of muscle that creates the illusion of a broad torso. The lack of back width is simply a mechanical failure. Standard training programs are completely missing the specific biomechanical angle required to target and grow that crucial outer edge. Right above the massive latissimus dorsi sits the teres major. When developed, it bulges outward, creating a V-taper. During a heavy row, the elbow stays tight, forcing the lats to absorb the load. Standard pull-downs share this flaw, leaving the teres major unstressed. Standard pulling movements lock the elbow in a tight path beside your torso. Because of that alignment, you can build massive back thickness over years of training without ever stimulating the precise muscle required to look wider. The first corrective movement is the single-arm high cable pull-down. It requires a cross-body setup, reaching high and across the torso into a deep stretch. From that stretched position, you drive the elbow down toward your hip in a deliberate slight arc rather than pulling straight down. That curved path isolates tension directly in the upper outer quadrant. The second adjustment is the straight arm cable pull down. To execute this properly, you must lock your elbows with only a slight bend. If the elbows hinge, your triceps instantly absorb the mechanical tension you want in your back. Forget your hands entirely. The most effective mental cue is to visualize pulling your armpits straight down toward your front pockets. The third movement is the chest-supported high row. This overhead schematic highlights how this differs from a standard row. Instead of pulling toward your stomach, your elbows flare high and slightly outward. Lying face down on an inclined bench provides a strict physical constraint. It completely eliminates momentum and removes your lower back from the equation, forcing the upper back to do the work. These 3 exercises alter the spatial path of your elbow. This change in geometry forces mechanical tension directly into a neglected quadrant of your back. To trigger growth with these movements, you have to stop pulling with your hands. Gripping the attachment too hard and pulling from the palm instantly transfers the tension into your biceps and forearms. You also need to drop the weight. Heavy loads inevitably shorten your range of motion, which kills the deep stretch required to activate the teres major. Control the eccentric, the lowering phase. Rushing the return eliminates consistent tension, so keep the pacing slow and deliberate on every single repetition. This flowchart breaks down exactly how to sequence your training. Start your workout with one teres activation movement to establish a mind-muscle connection. Next, execute your normal heavy compounds. Finally, wrap up the session with one direct teres finisher. Do this twice a week. When you start this protocol, expect to feel a highly localized soreness right beneath your rear shoulder during the first week. That soreness indicates you are finally hitting the target. Achieving a dramatic V-taper is the inevitable physical result of engineering tension into every angle of your back, ensuring that no muscle is left behind.